Mr. Husis signed the buyer agency form, but Mrs. Husis failed to sign the form. Moody agents showed the Hustises several farms. After viewing one particular farm, the buyers claimed the price was too high. The farm was specifically covered by the buyer agency agreement. Later, they contacted the seller themselves and purchased the farm. Moody Realty sued the Hustises for commission on the transaction. Neither the buyers nor the agency were able to produce a completed copy of the buyer's agency agreement signed by all parties. The agency had a copy of Mr. Hustis' signature as well as the agent's signatures. However, Moody's copy was missing the first page of the agreement. The Hustises had a copy of the entire agreement with only the signature of Mr. Husis. They claimed the Moody copy was signed in preparation for the trial, and that Moody never provided them with a copy of the agreement as required by Tennessee administrative rule. The trial court ruled that since no complete copy of the contract existed, there was no contract. However, the court still awarded Moody part of the commission, stating that the buyers would be unjustly enriched otherwise. The Hustises appealed. At the appellate court, the trial decision was reversed. The appellate court found that there was no significant evidence to support the allegation that a contract existed between the parties, despite the absence of a completely executed and full copy of the contract. The court used the behavior of the buyer as evidence of the agreement. The buyers acted as if the agreement existed. The court found that the buyers did not prove that they were not given a copy of the contract as required by Tennessee law. In this case, the agents won on appeal. However, the fact that the trial court found that no contract existed based on the lack of a complete, fully executed agency agreement should act as a warning to all licensees. The agents in this case were fortunate that the appellate court decided the way they did. The treatment of the facts by the trial court illustrates the importance of paying attention to the details in a real estate transaction. The agents involved in this transaction should have obtained the signature of both buyers on the buyer's agency agreement. The agent should also have made sure to maintain a copy of the entire agreement. Finally, the agent should have made certain that the buyers received a copy of the agreement as required by the administrative rule. The agent should also maintain documentation that the buyers were indeed given a copy of the agreement. This case is a prime example of the importance of understanding the details of applicable law and administrative rules and following every detail included in those laws and rules. Timeless Realty Corp. Versus Connective Diversified Holdings, LLC et al. 2006, NY Miscellaneous Lexus 282, 2006. This New York case involves a buyer, Connective, which entered into a buyer's agency agreement with Timeless Realty Corporation for the purchase of a $6 million property. The commission to be paid on the transaction was $650,000. Connective planned on converting the property into condominium units. The value of the property after it was converted into condos was estimated to be $100 million. Connective signed an exclusive listing agreement with Timeless to sell the condos once they were converted. The listing agreement did not contain an expiration date. The first transaction closed, and Timeless was paid the $650,000 commission as agreed. Connective transferred their interest in the property to Corpsley. For the next 2 years, Timeless failed to bring any buyers to the condos. After the 2 years had lapsed, Corpsley sent notice to Timeless that no agency agreement existed between Timeless and Corpsley. Corpsley then listed the property with Massey, who brought a buyer offering $24 million for the property. Timeless sued in an attempt to stop the listing agreement. The issue the court faced was whether or not Timeless could simply add Corpsley to the listing agreement, or whether or not Corpsley could terminate the listing agreement. The court based its decision somewhat on contract law principles. Since the listing agreement did not contain an expiration date, the court said that the agreement could be canceled at any time. The court also found that corpsely could not simply be added to the listing agreement without their written consent. The court also ruled based on an agency argument. The court stated that even if there was a valid listing agreement, corpsely would have the right to cancel it based on the fact that Timeless had done nothing to fulfill their obligation under the contract.